Tyrese Haliburton, you're in for a rude awakening, my boy.
Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers are going to be squaring off in what could potentially be an entertaining finals matchup. So, who's winning? How many games? OKC or Indy?
It is the corniest finals matchup I've ever seen in my life,
Battle
man.
of aura.
So
Or lack thereof.
Yeah. All right. I got OKC in 6. That's that.
Nice.
I have nothing else to fucking say.
Nope.
No?
Nah, you gotta,
No?
You gotta give a reason.
No, all right, I'll give a reason. So, how many games did the Timberwolves beat against OKC? 2?
They won one game. They won
game.
one game.
So, with that being said, I do think the Pacers are slightly more competitive, a little bit of a better team than the Timberwolves, but not that much better. I do think that the Pacers get a little bit lucky once or twice. So, it's either going to be OKC in 5 or 6. I'm leaning more towards 6. Because I don't think they're going to, sweep them. You know what I mean? So, I got OKC in 6. I would love to see it. I want to see a young team get some rings on their finger. And I think they deserve
by the
it.
way.
The youngest, and I think they very much deserve it. When was the last time OKC won a chip?
Never.
Never.
Neither team have never
So
have
the
ever won a
Oklahoma
championship.
Really? In
City
history?
Thunder, the Oklahoma City Thunder have never won a title. I'm pretty sure the Seattle Supersonics did win an NBA championship.
Way back when, yeah.
So
KD
OKC no, Katie never won a ring.
Has the
I didn't even
Supersonics
realize
ever
that.
won an NBA Finals?
Thanks, Siri.
1979, the
There you go.
Supersonics won a
But
championship.
OKC.
So OKC, when they changed over, they have never won a title in
Yep.
their 17 years of being a franchise.
Despite always being really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they even had Golden State down 3-1 the
Yep.
year that Golden State blew a 3-1 lead in the finals.
Nuts. Yeah,
So-
yeah.
And they lost the finals with KD, Harden.
To LeBron, yeah.
Yeah.
To the Heatles.
They went to the
Yes,
finals.
they did make the finals in 2012 and
They lost it to the
Yeah.
Heatles. Yep.
So a lot of history there in
I-
17
yeah.
years. But
So I think the Pacers come out with a little bit of heat. I think they get at least one win on them. I do think OKC's going to win. If I'm going to say who's going to win the whole series, it's OKC. And how many games? I think 5 or 6. I think that, Pacers got at least 1 or 2 on them. Reason being, I think they got a little bit of luck on their side. And reason 2, I don't think they're a terrible team. I don't think they're going to get swept out. You know what I mean? They're not. Clearly, the Pacers have proven they're not that team that's just going to get blown out in 4 games.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I would say they're going to be that team that would get blown out in 4 games, but the Pacers have the power of devil magic, and they will miraculously pull out one of these games.
One or 2.
Probably even
right?
game 1, and then lose 4 straight. I'm going Thunder in 5. I honestly think the Thunder are just a better version of the Pacers. They have a superstar guard at the top, and Shai's obviously on a different tier than Tyrese.
Of course.
And they have a super deep team with guys that are just playing, above their level. And I don't think the Pacers can hang with them. Like I said, I just think the Thunder's superstar. The Thunder have the best player in the series. That's always going to give you an edge. And then I think the guys outside of that, starting 5, clear Thunder. I think the bench is the Thunder. And the Pacers are going to have a hard time making OKC play their brand of basketball because that's how the Pacers have won these series. They make these guys play their brand. And, as much as we praise McCall, Dort and Caruso are different.
And
a different
Casey.
series. Yeah. And when Tyrese isn't scoring, you just can't win a playoff series, let alone a final series, if your superstar player isn't scoring 25, 30 points a game. He needs to be able to do that. And Tyrese is a guy that if his shot isn't falling, he defers to being a playmaker really quickly. And he's great at it, don't get me wrong, but those guys play some damn good defense. So I think he's going to have a hard time getting the others involved like he did against the Knicks and everyone else. So I'm going Thunder in 5.
Have you guys seen the Tyrese stat about
Missing his first shot?
how sick is that?
Insane, yeah.
Insane stat. Did you
What?
see that?
What?
So Tyrese Haliburton's numbers significantly dip and fluctuate depending on if he makes his first shot of the game. He's a 46% 3-point shooter when he makes his first shot of the game, and it drops to 31%
Yeah.
when he misses his first shot of the game. His
Yep.
points
O-
dip by
overall
6.
shooting percentage or just
His 3-point percentage. His points per game dropped by 6 points.
Wow.
Yeah. That was a crazy stat.
That's all we had to do.
I guess how you take the over-under in the beginning of the game on this
Well,
one.
it
What
might be
happened?
a
Why are you
live
covering your
bet.
nose again?
Somebody burped.
That was me. No. Birria taco.
No way.
Yeah.
You smell from
You
here?
didn't smell it? It's all right. It's not a big deal. I'm just protecting myself. Yeah.
Protecting myself.
From what?
I'm trying to cause a scene. Just protect myself.
You're
Like
causing
like in
scenes
SpongeBob,
every
when
time.
Cover my
SpongeBob
nose.
smells like shit and it like travels with him until it's like eating people up and stuff. Or Family Guy when he floats to the pie and the smell of the pie starts being
That's how I feel right now. That's how I
afraid
feel.
of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Dean?
Burp.
I'm thinking.
I don't think you're thinking that.
I'm thinking Thunders in 5.
Thunders more than.
The OKC
I mean, if they got
Thunder
two
in
Thunders
5.
out there, that's tough to deal with.
Yeah.
5. Yeah. I mean, they're clearly the better team. They've been the better team all year. The Pacers kind of came up as a little surprise. Go Pacers. Congrats to them for making the finals. But
Did you say
you're-
go Pacers?
well, hang on.
Yes, sir.
Your little run ends now.
I hated that.
That shit's so
I
corny.
hated it so much.
Yeah. OKC in 5. I would say sweep, but it just never really happens like that. So
Devil Magic,
5.
yeah.
What are you thinking?
I'm gonna take OKC to sweep them, pack them up light. Tyrese Haliburton, my friend, you're in for a rude awakening, my boy. Because this Thunder defense and this pick and roll defense, it's not Jalen Brunson and Cat out there on you. Go luck, Tyrese Haliburton. I think Shai's gonna have his way with every single defender on the Pacers. Nesmith, like, great job
mean,
you did
yeah.
on Brunson, but Nesmith did, and his great job is holding the Brunson to 30 points per game. But like Nesmith's good defensive moments against Brunson came with just being bigger than him, and Shai is
He ain't bigger than Shai.
yeah, like Shai's 6'6". I mean, he probably a little stronger.
He's
than
stockier,
Shai,
yeah.
but,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Shai's got that sneaky
Yeah,
strength.
Shai got so much more strength compared to a Brunson, and obviously
You got
like
that sneaky
height on him.
length.
Yeah, so I think Shai's gonna have his way with
I don't
them,
think it's
and
sneaky.
I mean the way J-Dub and Chet played in this past series against the Timberwolves, like that was
That's probably more like it.
Whoa.
the way J-Dub and Chet played against the Timberwolves. That was really all I needed to see from them to cement my stance on the Thunder. I needed to see them have a consistent playoff series
Same
of
here.
being great, and they were more than great against the Timberwolves.
Right.
So
Yep.
I think the Thunder are, like you mentioned, Tom, both of these teams have depth. The Thunder's depth is just simply better. And then at the top end, the Thunder's top end guys are just simply better. They're well coached as well. I'd probably say Rick Carlisle is a better coach than Mark Dagnall, but Mark Dagnall,
He'll hold his own.
yeah, he's been coaching his ass off in these playoffs, and yeah, I think the Thunder's overall defense is going to give this Pacers team hell. I think, J-Dub, you talked about all the defenders on the Thunder. You didn't even mention J-Dub,
Right.
who's an all defensive level defender who I think, he's probably going to be the primary Pascal defender, and I think he could hold his own. Pascal is going to get his because he's a great player, but I think he could hold his own against Pascal as the primary guy. And then in terms of Tyrese, they just have so many bodies they could throw at him. I think it's going to be a rough series.
It's like you said, with the pick and roll thing, and it's the Pacers at the times they did struggle with the Knicks. It was because there was no one on the floor that they could mismatch hunt. You cannot mismatch hunt against like bigs can't guard guards. That's just how that works. But like, you get Chet switched on you, that's not sweet. You get J-Dub switched on you somehow, or Caruso or Dort, like Shai even, like that shit ain't sweet.
Isaiah
So
can hold his own
yeah,
way
Isaiah
better
too.
than
Yeah,
Cat
exactly.
Can.
Yeah. So yeah, shit ain't sweet.
Yeah, I think the Thunder are gonna smoke them out.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be particularly close.
Yeah.
I agree a lot with what you said about like how they kind of had to prove how they would do in their last series or in these series that they've been playing to kind of show like, yeah, they got this. You
In
know,
the
because
big
I also
moments,
doubted.
you know what I mean?
I doubted them also against the Timberwolves. Like I remember what did I say, fucking Timberwolves in 6 or something.
So my argument was the fact that I thought the Denver series was the coming out party. That was the growing moment.
think
That
you did
was,
say that, yeah.
Struggled in that series. Besides game 7, they weren't having games all playoffs where the three of them were
yes.
great
Yeah.
until game 7, and then they just carried that. Game 7, granted, it was a great game by the three of them, but it was just one game. But they carried that over into the 5 games against the Timberwolves. You know what I mean? All three of them were great for all 5 games. They were, I mean, what was at halftime of the closeout game, the three of them combined for like 50 plus
Oh,
points
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
half. Like, and obviously the game was, I don't know how much they finished with.
I think
'cause
90.
We all turned the game
Yep.
off, I'm assuming.
Yep.
But
I think it was close to 90 or
three of
something.
them just were, and that was like the cherry on top for the series. The three of them were phenomenal all series long, and in a big moment like
Needed that
really,
from J-Dub.
Really that's what I'm saying, J-Dub, because he's been even going back to last year, just thus far in his playoff career has been rather inconsistent. And this, to me, was the first time he really put together a full series of what we all know J-Dub could be, just doing it in the big moment. He really put it together for a full series, and that's just like, that's all you needed to. That was the only question you could have about this team, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, I mean, I said the Thunder basically graduated from the school of hard knocks after that fucking Denver series. That was it.
That was their battle test.
Yeah, that was their coming of age moment. Yep. And this team is super young, but I thought that was the excuse all postseason for people because they're so young. They haven't been there. They haven't done that when they just were the best team in the league all year, and it was right in front of our face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, the one weakness to the Thunder defense is they give up a lot of corner threes, and the Pacers can generate some corner threes. Mark Dagnall, you said, might get out-coached by Rick Carlisle. I don't even know if that's the case. Mark Dagnall might be the best coach in the NBA already, which is crazy to say. Yeah, I'm saying the Thunder have every advantage in the series, and it's Thunder in 5.
Yep.
So let's do a little exercise just for the sake of this not being so boring, right? I need us all to really, really think here because it's going to be a hard thing to do. How do the Pacers win the series?
If they were to.
Right. We're all going to say it's impossible they win the series. That's how I feel about it. So let's figure out a way. Let's really analyze and put our coaches' hats on and all that, and let's try and think of a way for the Pacers.
The Thunder team plane crashes.
I was gonna say you have
Devil
to
magic.
You have to close out under Shai's feet when he shoots a jumper.
I think
No, really.
You have to play your style. They have to get them to play their style. You have to get out. You have to run and gun.
The Thunder could do that.
You have to. I know, but you have to force turnovers. You can't turn the ball over.
Yes.
And Pascal probably needs because Tyrese got to go for 25 and like 12 every game, and then Pascal's probably got to go for about 30, average about 30. Like that's how good this Thunder team is. And the other guys, Nembhard's got to be consistent scorer. Neesmith has to hit his shots, and yeah, but I think like the turnovers is key. Like force turnovers and don't turn the ball over.
I agree.
I was gonna say I think they have to play exactly how they've been playing, and specifically how they played against the Knicks. I think they have to keep hammering down on defense, continue making on those momentum-changing, game-changing shots that they've been making, forcing turnovers and converting to points the way they have been, and sprinkle a little bit of luck that they've been getting. And I think that's the only
Rather
way
be lucky
that
than
they
good.
win.
Yeah. And I mean, look, I'll say this: rebound the damn basketball, because that has been the Pacers' fatal flaw. I mean, it almost cost them multiple points. They don't rebound well.
They don't even have to rebound their own shot because they make all their shots.
That's not the problem, though. But that's not the problem, though. Their defensive rebounding is dog shit.
They don't need to
too.
rebound. They're just gonna make it the next shot because they don't miss. Like,
Sure, I mean,
right, you can make the bro. Let them have it because we're just gonna be out on the break from your crashing your own boards.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, Tom, in terms of you got to just somehow force as many turnovers as possible. You got to be picking up 94 feet for 48 minutes, and it's a hard thing to do.
Like they've been
daunting
doing.
task.
What they have been doing, but you got to you got to do everything you can to make Shai uncomfortable, which is obviously such a hard ask.
Make them feel you.
You know what I mean? You got to. I think it might be best to throw a guy like Nembhard on him, who's a little bit smaller, obviously, but they always say KD talks about it all the time how he has the most trouble with smaller guys, because they get under him. You got to get a guy like Nembhard to really get under him to rip the ball out as he's raising up.
TJ McConnell.
I think Neesmith played an insane defense, on-ball defense. I think Neesmith's the guy.
He'll probably get the assignment at first, but Nembhard's gonna get his.
You
go at him
thought Brunson draws fouls? I mean, Neesmith's gonna get in foul trouble at some point too.
Oh,
But I think he
And for as great as Neesmith was defensively in the Knicks series, Nembhard was just as great. I mean, he put on like you said,
Nembhard's been
master
phenomenal.
class in Game 6, and he has great hands as a defender too, in terms of sticking his hand in there. So Will he give Shai trouble? I don't know, but can he get a?
Nobody's giving Shai
force a
trouble.
few-
Yeah.
Yeah, can he put a little pressure on
You got to
him?
get
You know?
easy buckets. You
Yeah.
got to get out because
Yep.
you don't want to go up against the Thunder set defense.
They get
You
all
know?
their, they making all their easy buckets. Like
Right.
even us, like I think it was yesterday's game. We had like a free, like whatever.
We had
what do
a
you call
ton
it?
of open threes.
Not even open fucking fast break layup. Like I don't even like we're missing that shit. I don't know.
Starts throwing it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
No, I'm
that.
saying the Pacers got to get out and run and get easy
Yeah.
buckets.
Yeah.
Right.
The way they
but-
did against us.
Yeah, my bad. So I'm just still stuck on the Knicks. I'm saying like that's what the Knicks weren't doing, and that's what the Pacers were doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And because the Pacers were doing that, that's how they kept getting ahead. Do I think OKC is going to be doing what the Knicks did like that? No. So with that being said, the bare minimum is them doing what they've been doing. You know what I mean? Like, to even have a fighting chance. You
And
know?
yeah, I mean, to the,
Fighting
to the
chance might have been
point
crazy,
of
but-
like the Knicks look disconnected on defense, and I don't want to keep harping back to the fact that OKC looks like this unbeatable monster, but it really does look like there's
Kinda
six,
are.
They do
there's
look
six
like an
defenders on the
unbeatable
court at all times, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like they're so connected that it's like, oh, you get an open shot over here, no, it's not open because Alex Caruso just closed out on it and somehow guarded the entry pass if you wanted to get it there too. So it's so difficult, but it's going to have to be, like I said before, the one weakness to the Thunder is corner threes. You got to get a bunch of them and make a bunch of them and do not turn the ball over.
They will.
So you know how you get that? So this was going to be my next thing. So forcing turnovers obviously is the biggest, easiest answer to this, but and this is obviously a hard ask going up against that defense. You need an all-time legendary, historic performance from Pascal Siakam.
Yes.
Because again, like I mentioned, Tyrese Haliburton is going to have a difficult time getting what he wants to get in the pick and roll. You need Pascal Siakam in his isolation situations to just be perfect, to be perfect. To anytime he has J-Dub on him one-on-one, to one, be able to get his own bucket, but two, be able to make the right read. But more importantly, get his buckets to shift the defense towards him to generate the open weak side corner threes. Right. So like, and again, it's a hard ass, but you literally need all-time great like that. To me, that's the only way. Pascal Siakam, you said 30. He got averaged 35 in this series for them to win this series.
Well,
like honestly, you need an all-time great performance.
I
from
agree.
Pascal.
I also think Nemhard would need to really have a great coming out party type of series where he
15
had
to
like
20 a game,
he had
yeah.
some
Like,
really
yeah,
good
but,
playoff. He had some great playoff games last year,
Yeah.
especially like we saw that. You need that Nemhard, the one that was dropping 25 on the Knicks over and over and over again. Like that's the Nemhard that needs to show up in this series too. Like it needs. You just said it. It needs to be perfect basketball.
Because I think
Pacers need to be perfect.
they're gonna lean on Pascal heavier than they have in these previous series. One, because again, like I keep mentioning, I think Tyrese Haliburton's gonna have a tough time getting to what he wants to. But two, because he's the guy who's been here, done that on this team. So they're gonna say, Pascal, you know how to get. And honestly, different situations. He had Kawhi next to him the
Right.
last time, but different situations. But they're gonna lean on him more than they ever had, and said, Pascal, you're the guy who knows how to get this done. Take us there, and he needs to just play the best 4 games of his life.
Yeah.
Honestly, which
So-
he's been really turning it up throughout the course of the playoffs, getting better and better each round. So maybe he has another gear he could tap into.
So what
That'd be sick.
we're saying is
Thunder in 3.
pretty much.
Shit ain't happening.
Look,
Yeah.
everyone's picked against the Pacers in every single round.
Yep. I'm going to do it again.
That's all I'm saying. Leave it at that.